can't see me in no department. Speed, power, chance, heart, none.
Alright.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Talking big facts, I ain't tell no lies. Real talk like fight fan. Slap a troll with my right hand. Hit the like button, watch the replay. Want all the smoke like EJ. Fuck a troll, what he say. I bomb a nigga like Wilder, boy. Spray the thing, make shower, boy. Tyson Fury, you a coward, boy. Box a nigga like Ego. Make you bow your head, take one knee like Kell Brook and Tim Tebow. Since the time that Lester been black and eyes like Debo. Like Debo? And I'm a breadwinner like Kevin Gates. Smoke strong, make you levitate. On my evil spins, might meditate. Gon' watch me, you gon' steady hate. But I pimp the game like 7-8. 7-8. And I'm a big stepper like Money Brown. I don't mess around, I don't fuck around. But I fuck around, not wear my crown. Fuck around, not wear my crown. Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go talking that boxing again. Trill talk like fight fan. There you go talking that boxing again. This trill talk like fight fan. There you go talking that boxing again. Trill talk like fight fan. There you go talking that boxing again. There you go talking that boxing again. There you go talking that boxing again.
Yeah, what's up with it? What's good with it? Mox G in the building. What's happening with it? Yeah, and when y'all come in the building, just hop in them comment section. Let me know y'all in the building. Yeah. I know YouTube ain't sending out the notifications, but it's all good. We got a whole lot to talk about today. A whole lot went on this weekend. Don Reeks, what's good with it? Oh, shit, man. That's what he is. That's what he is. I mean, what you call a man that refused to give a man his rematch after he signed it on the contract? You know? Chris Mitchell, what's good with it? Marcus Hayes, what's happening with it? Yeah, we got a lot to cook on today. A lot went on this weekend. A lot went on in boxing this weekend. So, Don Reeks, what do you call it? What do you call it? Huh? What do you call it? If I give you my word that I'm going to do something and I write it in contract and then I refuse to do it, what do you call it? Yeah, I mean, what do you call that? But salute to you anyway, Don Reeks. And y'all hit that like button when you come in the building. You know what I'm saying? Smash on that like as you come in the building. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. He still didn't do what he said he was going to do. At the end of the day, he still didn't do what he said he was going to do on that contract. And like I said, y'all, I doubt that the fight with Joshua and Tyson Fury, it might not even happen. We don't even know if that's going to happen. he still got Deontay Wilder problems to deal with in the arbitration. That's why y'all haven't got an announcement. Wilder is pushing forward. That's why Wilder is in arbitration with Tyson Fury right now. Have you not been following what's going on? What you mean Wilder hasn't pushed forward with the fight enough, or it would have already happened? No, that's why Wilder is in arbitration. They're going through court proceedings right now because Tyson Fury was trying to swindle his way out of what the contract said, out of the rematch. So they're going through court proceedings right now, Dom Reeks, because of that reason. So what do you mean that Wilder is not pushing forward hard enough? I mean, taking the man to court, that's not hard enough for you? What else can he do? It's not my opinion. See, you saying that you don't want to argue with it because I have my opinion. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. An opinion and a fact is two different things. M Stacks 85, salute. Cassandra Mason off in the building. Oh, blessings to you. I hope everything's all right with you, Queen. Blessings to you. I hope that your recovery is going well and everything's all right with you. But yeah, y'all hit that like button. But it's not my opinion, dumb. It's a fact. An opinion is who you think gonna win the fight. If I say Wilder's gonna win the fight and you say Tyson Fury's gonna win the fight, that's an opinion. But what's actually taking place, that's not an opinion, that's a fact. But yeah, Ancestral Rage, what's happening with it? Yeah, and I'm gonna end a lot going on. Man, if any of y'all watch Mike Tyson's podcast, Mike Tyson, that dude, man, he be on one for real. I watched the one with T.O. Y'all got to go watch the one. He had Terrell Owens on there recently. And T.O. wasn't going. Tyson was trying to intimidate him and shit like he do everybody else and overtalk him and all of that. T.O. wasn't going. T.O. stood on the square. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. Of course we're going to cook today. But y'all got to go watch that Mike Tyson podcast with T.O. Mike Tyson probably has to be the worst interviewer of anybody I ever seen. He don't even let the person get a word out. Like, he just becomes saying just off the wall crazy shit throughout the whole interview, and you can't even get any good interview conversation out of the guest because Mike Tyson, he just over talk him the whole time and just be talking about crazy shit. You said T.O. would have been a great heavyweight. He would. T.O. he had hands. T.O. can throw them things. T.O. was tough as hell. But yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and get the show started off. I know they ain't sending out my notifications on YouTube. But that ain't gonna stop nothing. We'll go ahead and get the show started off. First thing I want to talk about that Demetrius, that Dudu Andrade fight. Dudu Andrade, he went out there this weekend and he fought Liam Williams. He fought Liam Williams, and I had talked about that fight before it happened. And I had talked about that I wanted to see Dudu Andrade go out there and destroy Liam Williams. I wanted him to go out there and stop Liam Williams. Liam Williams had been stopped on multiple occasions before, I believe. Let me pull up Liam Williams' box rec. Hold on. So Liam Williams, his record was 23, and it should have been 23-2 at the time. So he had been stopped. No, actually, I don't think he never been. Yeah, he been stopped once. So he lost to Liam Smith once, and then he got stopped by Liam Smith once. So he had lost, to Liam Smith twice in a row. Now, the caliber of fighter that Dudu Andrade is supposed to be on Doodoo Andrade, and he's active now because we know before in the past, Demetrius Andrade, his biggest thing was inactivity, So, we would give him excuses sometimes when he would put on poor performances, saying that he was, had been out of the ring and he was rusty and this and that. But this is not the case now. He's been active for the past few years. And I was looking for Doodoo Andrade to go in there and destroy Liam Williams. Liam Williams is a solid fighter, but he's not supposed to be nowhere near the level of a Doodoo Andrade, right? He's not supposed to be nowhere near the level of Doodoo. So, one thing I always said, even before the fight happened, I said that Doodoo Andrade, his biggest thing is he always come out on you real strong. He come out the gate strong. And if you notice, if you watch his fights, and shout out to KG, what's happening with it? If you watch Doodoo Andrade's fights, right, he always come out the gate strong, and he usually always hurts his opponents early on in the fight. That's what he does. So he's more of a front runner. He'll hurt you early on in the fight, and then during the second half of the fight, it seems like his power don't carry over. His power don't carry over during the second part of the fight. Now, watching this fight, Doodoo Andrade, he does his signature shit. He come out there and he hurts Liam Williams and drops him early on in the fight. Actually, he hurt him several times early on in the fight, right? But he just don't have that killer instinct in him to when he gets you hurt, he don't know how to get you up out of there. When Doodoo gets you hurt, and he always, most of everybody he be in the ring with, he always gets him hurt, but it's early. And y'all hit my like button when you come in the building. Sylvester 2011, what's happening with it? He always gets his opponents hurt, off the rip early. But then it's like, I don't know, he don't know how to finish or whatever it is. He don't never finish his opponents off when he get him hurt. And it's always the same story. So, going back to this fight this weekend with Liam Williams and Doodoo, like I said, Doodoo had him hurt on several occasions early on in the fight, and he just wasn't able to press on the gas to get him up out of there. So one thing that I've always seen about Doodoo, he's not a finisher. He can get you hurt, and he will get you hurt, but he just don't know how to finish you, and that's going to be a problem with him. Once he really step up his competition, we saw, like I said, Liam Williams, he had lost already twice to Liam Smith. Liam Smith had actually, Liam Smith got his ass whooped by Canelo. Canelo stopped Liam Smith. So if you can kind of, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because, Doodoo Andrade, he been talking about fighting Canelo for a long time. Now, let's just go forward. So as the fight progressed, give me a second, y'all. Let me send Money this link. Get him off in the building. Give me 1 second, y'all, and I'm gonna continue to cook on this. Hold on. So as the fight progressed, you seen Liam Williams, he started coming on a little bit. He started coming on. He started pressing the action. He was still getting touched up by Doodoo Andrade. Don't get me wrong. Doodoo was still hitting him with them vicious uppercuts. Liam Williams was open for the uppercut all night. But as the fight went on, it's like he didn't have that same power, and Doodoo didn't have that same power. So Liam Williams started walking through his shit. And then you can see that Doodoo started wearing down a little bit, and that's the thing with him. He's more of a front runner. He always has, I've seen him in several fights, even fighting Rudy Poots that nobody know. He'll have problems in the second half of the fight because he's a front runner and he wear down. And his big issue is that he gets you hurt all the time in the beginning stages, but he don't know how to finish you. So that's always a problem for Doodoo Andrade. he just don't. His power just don't carry over in the second half of the fight. Now, I see a lot of people, criticized him, saying that he had a very tough fight with Liam Williams and all of that. Honestly, I got to go watch the fight over because I was watching the fight, but I was at the lake fishing at the same time. So I'm trying to watch the fight on my phone. But from what I saw, Dudu Andrade, he won most of the rounds to me. You know what I'm saying? Liam Williams might have, to me, I might have seen him win 2 or 3 rounds. Maybe that's it. But like I said, it's you supposed to go out there against a Liam Williams and put on a spectacular performance. You supposed to go out there and either get him up out of there because you had him hurt several times, he was ready to go, right? Or you supposed to just go out there and win every round without getting touched. And Dudu Andrade, he showed a lot of flaws in his game. He don't have, to me, he doesn't move. He doesn't move as well as he did early on in his career. He gets hit a lot more, and he showed a lot of flaws. But I did think that he won the fight comfortably. But like I said, when you have a man hurt that many times and you can't get him up out of there, it just shows that you're more of a front runner and your power don't carry on to the second part of the fight. So when people are talking about that he'll beat a Jermall or a Canelo Alvarez, right? Because everybody is speculating that Dudu is just the best at 160, right? And will beat Canelo at 168 if he go up. They speculate that he's the best off of what he's doing against the subpar competition, right? Liam Williams is the best fighter that Dudu Andrade has ever fought in his whole career. So, like I told y'all before, the man ain't never fought nobody. He had never fought nobody. So we speculating and talking about how talented and talking about how great this man is when he never fought nobody. You see what I'm saying? So we can't continue to crown these guys like Dudu that's fucking been in the sport for 13 years and ain't never fought nobody and then say, oh, well, he's great and he's this and that and he'll beat Canelo ass. He'll beat Charlo ass. I don't see it. I don't see it because he's a front runner. And what I saw, right? What I saw this Saturday night, and I've seen this in multiple fights with Dudu Andrade. I can't think it was a fight a couple years ago he had against a guy, another UK fighter, and he struggled. And what I saw Saturday night is, like I said, I saw the flaws. I don't think that he moves as swiftly as he did at one point in time. He slowed down a little bit as far as his footwork, and he get hit more. And if he go in the ring against Jermall Charlo, I don't think he could beat Jermall Charlo. But it ain't his fault that, Jermall Charlo needs to take that smoke, and we'll talk about that more later. If he go up in the ring against Canelo, he's not beating Canelo. I'm sorry to hurt y'all feelings. You know what I'm saying? Y'all that hate Canelo, he's not beating no Canelo. He's just not. Y'all can make all the excuse. Yeah. Yep. Jay Chestnut, it was Jack Coolclay in the UK. He struggled when he fought.
That was in the UK, that was in Germany.
Oh, it was in Germany. Okay. Well, I think Jack Coolclay, is he a German fighter or is he a UK fighter?
He's German.
Okay, he's German. Okay. And shout out to Money in the building. Money, what's happening with you, man?
What's going on, brother? Listen to you clip.
Yeah, man. And and I know you want to cook on this. I'm gonna pass it over to you in a second, man. But all I'm saying is, a lot of people's crown Dudu Andrade, right? Because Canelo was. I see Canelo avoiding him, but then you can say, okay, well, who has he fought to deserve a Canelo fight? Who has what noise has he been making in the ranks? Like who does he know? Who knows him, right? But then you can say a lot of these other motherfuckers that Canelo fought or Charlo, don't nobody know them either. So you know what I'm saying? I'm not even finna go with that narrative. I'm not finna swing with that. But like I said, if he does get in the ring with a Charlo or a Canelo, I don't see hitting them. You feel what I'm saying? I don't see he don't have that. He doesn't have that grit in him, and he don't know how to finish, right? And he don't have that in the later rounds, he always slows down. His power don't carry over. You see what I'm saying? And you do some shit like that against a Charlo or Canelo, you're in a whole lot of trouble. But all in all, he did what he had to do to get the win. He looked spectacular at times. Like I said, at times he looked spectacular. Liam Williams was there all night for the uppercut. And several other, punches. Liam Williams was there to be hit, but he just don't got that grit in him like that. And let me read some of these comments, and I'm gonna give it to you, Money. KG says, shout out to Key and Big Stepper. He say, Money, go ahead and talk that boxing. Yes, sir. Jay Chestnut say, Boo Boo should take that GGG unification, just say he got a big fight. See, that's the thing is, though, Jay, GGG don't want to fight him or none of them guys. So fuck a GGG. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that dude. He don't want to fight none of them dudes. He rather either find motherfuckers at your local YMCA and boys and girls club, to fight, or chase Canelo, a fight that he ain't gonna get again. You feel me? So that's just what it is. He said Boo Boo looks like he's falling over, no balance, and uppercut was used too much. Yeah, and he uses the same thing repetitive. He does a lot of shit. He does a lot of shit that's he has a lot of flaws in his game. That like I said, I think that Jermall Charlo, and Canelo beat him. But you can't continue to crown a guy when he's been in the sport 13, 14 years and ain't never fought nobody. And this was his best opponent. And shout out to Liam Williams for putting up a tough, hard fight, showing that he was gritty, and giving Doodoo problems at times, pressing him, and giving him problems at times. And he landed a lot of shit on Doodoo. But go ahead, Money. What you think about that fight, man?
Man, first of all, what's going down, bro? Shouts out to Cassandra Mason. My bro Chestnut was going down. Kwame, I see you, bro. How you feeling, chop? Man, look, I ain't gonna get Doodoo all the. Yeah, you got me calling the man Doodoo, man. I call the man Boo. You got me calling the man. God damn. Let me not call that man that shit. I'm gonna get Demetrius Andrade. I'm gonna give him some credit, man. But look, I was expecting a better performance, off a 14-month layoff. He did come off a 14-month layoff. And listen, man, it's a lot of fighters out there. They have a little down performance every now and then. You feel me? But Liam Williams, I'm gonna give him some credit as well, bro, because I've been knowing Liam Williams is a tough dude. Like he's gritty like that. He's that type of street fighter that almost like a white Gene Pascal to me, bro. He's some motherfucker that's gonna be tough and rugged, but you gotta put his ass down and keep him down to make him stop coming. You know what I'm saying? But I thought Andrade would have came with a better game plan, especially in the first round when he came out, just like Tommy Hitman Hearn and fucking Marvin Hag, like he just finna knock him the fuck out. I'm like, damn. Even when I'm swinging wild and shit, I'm like, God damn, Andrade, what you on today? You feel me? But he ended up dropping him in the second round. Then after that, it's like you say, he was catching him with shit. But then it's like when he do hurt him, he didn't know how to just I don't know if he can't sense the shit or something. I'm like, what's going on? Or just Liam Williams was just a tough motherfucker, bro. You feel me? Just tough. But he got I said to myself, if that was one of Charlo Canelo in that ring, or one of them top cats, they would have probably beat him. But at the same time, I am gonna say the 14-month layoff, the little ring rust. When you fight somebody else, you go be on a higher competition level. So sometimes you can fight down to your competition. You feel me? But looking at him in that fight, it was a subpar performance. But at the end of the day, what matters is he got the W. You know what I'm saying? You live to see another day, and he's the champion, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's the champion. So that was a title defense for him. It was a tough one. Like I say, everybody gonna look at him and say he could have did this, he could have did that. But at the end of the day, he got the W. Everybody have a little. I ain't gonna say a down performance, but sometimes you have that little motherfucker that you don't think about. You think you're gonna go on there and get him out of there. He give your ass a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? I can name a couple fighters who had them tough fights like that with an opponent we thought they were going on and just wipe their ass off the map. So he's still a hell of a fighter. He still got a skill set. I'm with my dude. He do got his balance looked a little weird. I shows like, damn, dude, he looking like Andre Berto with the balance today, dog. And he kept trying to shoot that damn uppercut. Like he kept trying to lead with the uppercut. Like he just got one punch knockout power or some shit. Like you could just knock him out when that's not your game plan. And then I'm with you, kids. Like even after the third or fourth round, he looked like he got the gas and out. I'm like, damn, bro, you done shot your shit already. You shot your load. What's going down? Did you train for this shit or what, bro? But he figured it out. That's all that matters at the end of the day. He figured it out. He got the W, and now he looked like a subpar fighter to where now, what I'm saying, these dudes look at Trevor. I know y'all gonna come with that bullshit. These dudes, they go want to get him in the ring. They gonna want to get him in the ring. You feel me? So he did himself probably did himself some justice from getting one of these fights now, because now. Charlo, like he want to holler at Eddie Hearn after this and make the fight happen, things like that. But I know you're gonna touch on that. So, he probably did himself some justice with getting one of these fights, even though we look at it as a disservice. But I ain't gonna kick him up the ass too hard. You feel me? Everybody have a down support performance, and he's still a world champion. He's still a world champion at 160. And when you're a world champion, bro, if somebody there, then you gotta fight him. You gotta fight the champions. You gotta fight the champions. Trevor, y'all, man, get that little corny ass shit out of here, dude.
You might worry about that, dog.
That corny ass shit, dog.
But man, see, the thing is you gotta see. This is my thing, money. Is Liam Williams was his toughest opponent today. So I mean, it ain't like that. He was just fighting some, Rudy Poot as opponent in his standards. You feel me? Because this is your toughest fight to this day. So, but like I said, to me, it was mainly things that I said. To me, it was mainly things that I have seen from Dudu Andrade in the past. You see what I'm saying? In the past that we kind of overlooked because we said, well, he was, on a long layoff, or it was the opponent. He was fighting to the level of his opponent. But then it's kind of becoming a pattern when he does step in there against a rugged type of fighter, So like I said, man, shout out to Dudu Andrade, man. He did look spectacular. He looked very good at points, at a lot of points in that fight. My main thing with him is he just don't have no finisher. You dig what I'm saying? He ain't got that WWE finisher. You know what I'm saying? He'll hurt you, but he ain't got that signature finishing move. That's just what it is. He don't know how to finish his opponents, and he's more of a front runner. He come out the gate on you. You know who Dudu Andrade is. You know who he is, money.
Who is he?
A middleweight Keith Thurman. Oh, who he is? He's a middleweight Keith Thurman. If y'all watch Keith Thurman fight, Keith Thurman coming out the gate on your ass. Keith Thurman gonna hurt you early, bad. But when that second half of the fight comes on, that power, it just don't carry over, and I think him and Keith Thurman real close. They came up in amateurs together. So that's a crazy coincidence, but yeah. But so that is what it is, about that situation. Now, man, and as far as him fighting Charlo, and I know Charlo came out and he said that he'll take the fight with Dudu Andrade now after this fight, but man, Charlo, man, that dude, man, Jermall Charlo, right? I mean, it's a big coincidence. Now you want to talk about all of a sudden about taking that fight after motherfuckers are getting on your helmet about who you fight next. But that's a whole different conversation. I'm gonna get in that. I'm gonna get on that topic tomorrow because I gotta cook on that topic. But right now I want to talk about this Triller fight card, dog. The Triller fight card, man. Steve Cunningham. Shout out to Steve Cunningham. He went out there and he fought Frank Mir. Now Frank. I had made my prediction that it was no way that Frank Mir was going to be able to last with Steve Cunningham. And this is my thing, dog, is that I thought, no disrespect to Steve Cunningham. Like, to me, I thought Steve Cunningham was gonna go out there and just destroy dude. You know what I'm saying? Frank Mir, he was not a good stand-up fighter in the UFC. Like, he ain't had hands like that in the UFC. Like I said, I seen Brock Lesnar put work on him. You know what I'm saying? I seen Brock Lesnar put work on Frank Mir. And Frank Mir, I mean, I know he's a lot bigger than Steve Cunningham, but I just felt that Steve Cunningham, should have got him up out of there. Steve Cunningham was a former heavyweight contender. You know what I'm saying? He actually gave Tyson Fury a lot of problems. Put Tyson Fury on his motherfucking ass. I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know if Steve Cunningham was carrying him, but I don't know, man. What did that look like to you, Money?
He wasn't carrying him, bro. Just, Steve been at the ring himself. And Frank Mir, he's a tough ass dude, bro. That motherfucker was 70 pounds heavier than Steve, So Steve, you got to remember, he trying not to get cracked his damn self, But I think he should have went to the body more. But I'm with you. I thought he was gonna stop him. I thought I
was trying to put money on this. I didn't get my bet in soon enough, but I'm glad I didn't, because I was actually trying to put money on that Steve Cunningham was stopping. But shout out to Steve
Red. What's going down? Red, what's going down, big bro?
And Matt Russ was happening with it. Clarence McClain was good with it. But shout out to Steve Cunningham, man. I'm glad that he got the chance to go out there and be able to get his bag and put on a performance. And one thing I do got to say is that he did take the fight on short notice. He did, but Steve Cunningham, he stays in tremendous shape, so he was able to go in there and go out there and and do his thing. I just thought that he was gonna get the stoppage, but like I said, more so, I'm glad that he got the chance to go out there and showcase his talents and make that his comeback. He hadn't been in the, like you said, Money. Steve hadn't been in the ring in a long time. Frank Mir, he haven't been in no ring in a long time too. But maybe it was, the weight advantage. Maybe it was just because 70 pounds is a lot. But when you talk about that, right, that lets you know how devastating Deontay Wilder is. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about these weight, we talking about these weight advantages and everything. That lets you know how devastating Wilder is. But yeah, man. And then, what other fights? Because I'm gonna get to the Regis Pro Grade and no, oh yeah. Let's cook on that. Let's cook on my man Tony Harrison, man. And as y'all know, I'm a big fan of Tony Harrison, man, as a fighter and a person. Tony Harrison is one of the most solid cats that y'all can that you ever meet. Tony Harrison solid as hell. Now, Tony Harrison is fighting, went out there this weekend and he fought, what's his name? Brian Perella. Brian Perella, yeah. Brian Perella is now trained by Roy Jones. You know what I'm saying? My favorite all-time fighter, Roy Jones. Brian Perella, he didn't got stopped by several opponents. He got several L's on his record. Brian Perella is not the level of fighter that you would think that could go out there and go the distance with Tony Harrison. Me and Money talked about this shit, right? Tony Harrison I thought Tony Harrison was going to go out there and put on a spectacular performance and definitely get Brian Perella out of there. I didn't think that, dude was going to go more than 7 rounds with Tony Harrison, right? Tony came out strong. But Brian Perella, man, he wasn't going, dog. He wasn't going, right? And he gave Tony Harrison a lot of problems, man. Tony Harrison, I think the layoff really affected Tony Harrison, man. He looked rusty. His punch accuracy wasn't there. He was missing a lot of shit, man. A lot of shit that Tony Harrison usually land. You know what I'm saying? He just looked. We know that he don't have his dad in his corner. Rest in peace to his father. His father has passed. During the quarantine and everything, and his brother has been training him. But man, Tony Harrison, he didn't look the same Tony Harrison that we seen in the ring with Charlo. He didn't look as sharp. He looked like he was getting very tired at moments in the fight. And, you know, he always has that problem, right? He always has that problem with his win. But like I said, to me, I thought that Tony Harrison was going to go in there and destroy this dude because they was both coming off of long layoffs. Tony Harrison was coming off of, I think, like a 19-month layoff or something. And then Perella, I think he was coming off a long layoff. So I was just expecting Tony Harrison to go out there and, you know, hurt this dude, put it on him. But it didn't happen like that. You dig what I'm saying? It didn't happen like that, man. Tony Harrison was struggling in that fight. I still think that Tony Harrison did enough to win the fight. They scored it a draw. Although, you know, it was a lot going on at that point in time. They had the Triller fight card on at the same time. So I'm trying to watch both of them. So I still need to go back and sit down and watch every round, you know, closely. But I thought that Tony Harrison did enough to win. But, you know, I mean, he got a draw. He got a draw. I don't know, man. It's like Tony Harrison, this was a fight, even coming off a layoff, this was a fight that he was looking to make some noise, that he was looking to go out there and, you know, make some noise to put his name back in the hat with Jermall Charlo. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to be able to go out there and perform and do something that we was going to be talking about to put his name back in the hat with Jermall Charlo. Now people are going to be talking about a rematch between him and Perella. And so that's not a good look for Tony. But like I said, man, I think that the layoff had a big played a big factor. Tony Harrison even admitted, you know, in the interview I watched, where I think it was a Brian Custer interview, he said that he hadn't been living the fighter's lifestyle. He said, you know, he been kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't been living no fighter's lifestyle. He had until he decided he was going to come back and start training. And he's been through a lot, you know, lost his father. That was his trainer. And so I think all of that played into Tony Harrison's performance. I would love to see Tony Harrison back in the ring, you know, within the next 4 months to stay active. I think, you know, to stay active, continue to train. He got a lot on his plate, money. You know, he trains kids as well in his gym. So I would love to see him, you know, focus 100% on himself, continue to train and stay active. Because like you said, money, I would love to see him against a J-Rock. Go out there and beat somebody like J-Rock or Jared Hurd, right? Get that rematch against Jared Hurd. And then we're going to be screaming for a rematch with you and Charlo. You know, by that time, Charlo should be undisputed. And you know, he still got a chance, man. He still got a chance to make some noise. You know, shake this fight off and come back stronger. So let me read something. Let me read a couple of these comments, and then I'm going to go ahead and get to you, money. Sal, what's good? He said Brian never got knocked out. It was a good fight to me. That was a draw to me. Oh, okay, my bad. So he said Brian Perella had never. I got to go back and look at that. Jay Chestnut said, I think Tony fights to level his competition, hence why his best two fights are against Charlo. He said took him too long to figure out the southpaw stance. Perella and someone fact check me, but I think that was the first southpaw Tony fought. Yeah, it was because they was talking about that. That was his, and that's crazy. That was his first southpaw he ever fought in his whole career. You would never think that, but yeah, it was. Mike Ron said, I think because his father was not with him, it took a lot out of him, because that is not the same guy that was in there with Charlo and Hurd. But yeah, money. Go ahead and cook on that fight with Tony Harrison, man. Money.
Sure, come hold on, King.
Yeah. Danny Garcia versus Tony Harrison. That's a good fight. I think that's a fight that Danny would make right off the bat at 154. That's a YY 9-3 2010. Yeah, that's a good fight, dog. That is a good fight. That's a big money fight. That's a good fight. I know that Tony Harrison talked about that fight in the interview with Brian Custer. He said that, man, he was like, man, I love Danny Garcia. He was like, Danny, my God. He was like, but man, Danny come to my division now. He was like, man, we could make that happen. I think that's a hell of a fight. It's crazy because the performance on Saturday night that Tony Harrison put on, I don't know if he would have beat a Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying? With the performance that he put on. But a Tony Harrison at his best, the Tony Harrison that we seen in there against Jermall Charlo, that Tony Harrison will beat Danny Garcia. But that's still a dangerous fight for Tony Harrison because we know that Danny Garcia got that thud and power. And Danny Garcia, he might be able to punch harder at 154. We don't know. With that left hook could knock your ass out if you don't see it coming. But yeah, that's a solid fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big money fight for Tony Harrison, you know, to get back in the limelight. Money, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Keith. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. With the Tony Harrison fight, bro. Look, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with Tony, bro. Like, he came out. They want the same Tony that fought Charlo, bro. He came out. Then he put his prayers down. Hit that like he put his prayers down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, Tony on it. You know, he finna get in her. He finna fight for his pop first fight back out. You know what I'm saying? After losing his pops, things of that nature. I'm like, Tony finna bring that shit, dog. And he get in that motherfucker, bro. It's like he was gun shy or something. It's like he was gun shy to you, bro. Like he wasn't trying to pull the trigger, like he was being conservative, things of that nature. And then he was just walking into some shit. I'm like, Tony, bro.
He was getting hit a lot, man. He was getting hit a lot.
Yeah. Okay, I'm like, man, he gonna walk into something, go put his ass down. I thought he was gonna get dropped in that fight. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Because he's walked to, I'm like, shit, this nigga gonna get dropped, bro. Like, and I'm telling like, man, if you get dropped, you gonna lose, bro. Especially at the end. I was telling him to get a drop in 12. That dude look like he's about to Brian, like he's about to drop him. You feel me? But my guy, when I was streaming the fight, you know, he grew up watching Brian Perrella. He trained with him and things of that nature. His name Brian Kennedy. He a fighter himself. He like, man, I'm telling y'all, bro, he finna beat Tony Harrison today. He said he feel. I'm like, man, he ain't finna beat no damn Tony. And I'm just laughing and joking. But as the fight goes on, I'm like, damn, and Key, I thought he won.
Brian Perrella been stopped twice.
Yeah, he been stopped twice.
He been stopped twice.
Look,
I think
one
he had been stopped, but
one by Ugas, right? And one by Who the other one, Key? And is a married mom or am I tripping out?
Who was in here that said that he had never been stopped before? Somebody
he been stopped twice.
Yeah, he been stopped twice, like I said. Because I had said that, and then somebody told me that he ain't never been stopped before. Yeah, he been stopped twice.
Yeah, he been stopped twice. But you know, I'm looking at Tony like, bro, god damn, Tony, bro, like, you know, you ain't nowhere in hell. You know, I ain't gonna say hell, like I say, but that performance, bro, he didn't look like Tony Harris. It looked like he couldn't pull the trigger. He wasn't jabbing his way in. He was just walking into shit, things of that nature. And I was like, look, bro, you lost this fight. You lost. I thought he lost that fight. You know, it wasn't no robbery now. It wasn't like, oh man, they robbed old boy, but you know, just look, I want to watch it over. But you know, I thought Brian Perrella pulled it out, bro. I really did. I thought he pulled it out, dog. But you know, Tony gotta sharpen up. And then, you know, the way he was looking after they said it's a draw, like, come on, bro. You can't sit back and just make like you got robbed or like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a little weird performance for me, bro. You know what I mean? Like I say, maybe it was the layoff, him losing his pops, or is he just a little gunshot? Because I'm like, damn, Tony, you're not pulling the trigger, bro. Then when he was getting him, he hurt him and couldn't jump on him neither, like he had hurt him. I'm like, damn, get him, Tony, but he never jumped on him, bro. You feel me? It was an opportunity for him that he missed to me. You know, it was an opportunity that he missed because he could have put himself right back in position, but. You know, with him getting a draw, they'll still put him in there with a J-Rock. I want to see him in there with J-Rock, you know, see how that turned out. Even though I think J-Rock could get him myself, but we don't know how J-Rock looking, you know, after that L himself. So I like Tony Harrison versus J-Rock, but the good thing is, you know, they fighting each other, the top cats. He can come back and put himself in position to get another shot at the world title if he come back and beat somebody like a J-Rock, you know, or even Lubin already retired of, but I want to see him fight J-Rock. That's the fight I got for him, J-Rock.
Yeah, man. like I said, I think it had a lot to do with the layoff, and I think he was gunshot. You know, something that I go back to that he said, now that I remember, you know, during the interview with Brian Custer, he said, I feel good. You know, I'm training with these young guys that got me back on my shit again. And he was like, but you know, he was like, we can say all that until you get in the ring. He was like, I don't know what until I feel what it feels like to get hit with 10-ounce gloves again. So I think that was in his mind. You know what I'm saying? Because he spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? You can say all this, you can feel all, but we got to see once I get in that ring and get hit with 10-ounce gloves again. So I think that might have been in the back of his mind. Coming off a knockout loss. You know, maybe he was gunshot. You sparring with 16-ounce gloves, and now you going in there, now you feeling that power with 10-ounce gloves, and you ain't felt that in 19 months. You see what I'm saying? So I think that and that all has to do with the layoff. So I think it all plays a factor. I'm not finna count Tony Harrison out right now. You know, let's see how he looks in this next fight. You know, but he is gonna have to stay on his shit outside of the ring. He's gonna have to continue training and continue staying in good shape. I know that he had a lot of weight to cut for this camp. If you go to the Brian Custer interview again, you know, he talked about that. He had a lot of weight to cut for this camp. And actually, when he did that interview just a couple of weeks ago, he was still up high in weight. So, and who knows, money, who knows how difficult he had making the weight. You know, he probably had a difficult time because he had a lot of weight to cut. So he probably had a difficult time cutting weight.
That's true.
You know, and he admitted he wasn't living no fighter's lifestyle. He wasn't training or doing nothing. He had never got that big in his career. Yeah. So that plays a big factor in it too. Like I said, so, you know, brush this off for him as a comeback, you know, warm-up fight that he was able to squeak through without getting the L, but he got a draw and come back strong next time. But man, so back to that Triller money, that Triller card. Now, as far as the overall Triller card, dog, is that it was kind of boring to me. You know what I'm saying? Besides the Regis Prograis fight in the main event, the rest of that shit was kind of lackluster to me. The first Triller event, the one with Mike Tyson, was a lot better to me. It had a lot. It had way better, exciting fights on there. This one was more like, and man, and that all them concerts and shit, dog. I think they took it too far with all them concerts. I came to watch, you know what I'm saying? I came to watch some fights. You feel me? If I want to watch a concert, I'll go to YouTube and watch that shit. I came to watch fights. I mean, right. It's cool putting on a performance or two, but man, like half of the motherfucking card was concerts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they need to be mixing boxing with all of that, all them concerts and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit ain't like that to me. Like, I didn't want to see all that bullshit. I ain't want to see that. You feel me? But as far as the overall card, it wasn't it. That wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they had a much better card to me the first time around, but that's what they're gonna learn when it comes to this. You gotta keep producing. Y'all came out the gate real strong. You're gonna have to keep producing, and that's where it doesn't get so easy. It's easy to come and put on a show, a super show, you know, once, but can you do it over and over and over? Now, but you know, that remains to be seen. The Regis Prograis fight, man. Regis Prograis, he went out there and he was on Ivan Red catch ass. He said that lady Too Short brought in but oh man, you ain't lying, Randall Bivens. Real man. Hold up. I forgot about that. You ain't lying. And y'all hit the like button. If y'all in the building, it ain't no reason you can't hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? YouTube already ain't sending out the notifications like they supposed to. Hit that like button. But Man, Regis Prograde, he went out there and he did his thing, man. He was on Ivan Red Catch ass, started dropping them bombs on Red Catch, and then Red Catch, like he does often, because we seen him bite Danny Garcia when he wanted to get up out that smoke, right? Red Catch, something wrong with that dude, man. Red Catch gets hit in the body, right? Motherfucking Regis Prograde go to the work his body, go down to the body and hit him in the kidney with a kidney shot. Nowhere near his nuts. This man got the motherfucking nerve to grab his nuts and fall all out in the ring, roll around, screaming, holding his nuts, and refuse to get back up and fight. When, first off, do you not realize that they have replay? Second off, that referee need his ass beat because the referee start counting. Then he seen Ivan Red Catch grab his nuts. Then he stops counting and ultimately rules that dude got hit with a low blow. Like, what are you doing? Like that shit is just like I don't know where they got that ref from. You supposed to be in the ring watching the action, blow for blow. You are not supposed to let a fighter con you, right? You're not supposed to let a fighter con you out of what you saw. You watching that, you see that man's fist was nowhere near Ivan Red Catch's nuts. How is a referee, you in the ring watching the action and you let this man con you out of what you saw with your own eyes? I ain't never seen nothing like it, dog. And
they changed it to a TKO win too. You know that, right?
Who they did now?
Yeah, they changed to a TKO win. Hey, when
did they do that? After the fight, right?
It just came in. That's about as you speaking.
Oh, as I'm speaking,
bro. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna cook on that. We're gonna cook that. And Kurt Anderson, salute to you. The boxing encyclopedia, Kurt Anderson.
Kurt, what's going down, big brother? How you feeling, child?
Randall Bivens said it was good to see Al and Oscar in a different light, and Al in a different light. Mario. I'm like, I know Al Heyman wasn't in no fight. Oh, you talking about? Oh yeah, I want to cook on that. I'm gonna cook on that some other time too. Al and Oscar in a different light, and Mario was very knowledgeable, but all the commentary, including Snoop, were pathetic. They were talking over each other, saying BS. Yeah, man, and like that shit was crazy, dog. Like, you let a fighter basically tell you what you're gonna do. That's what he did, because he seen that shot, and he seen it was nowhere near the nuts, right? Ivan Red Catch needs an Academy Award for acting. This man was damn near screaming, holding his nuts, and crying in the ring. Right? After the commission saw that, the whole boxing world saw that, Ivan Red Catch needs his purse upheld. For one, they need to hold his purse, and they don't need to pay him shit. Also, they don't need to ever let him back in the ring again. Right? You're a professional fighter. You train your whole life and you get paid to fight. You go out there flopping on the ground like an NBA fucking player and an actor. You don't need to get paid, right? And then so the referee goes and basically, said it was what did they rule it? A no contest? Money, what did they rule it? A no contest?
Nah, they ruled a TKO. Are you talking about at first?
Yeah, at first.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so the referee, he lets Ivan Red Catch con him into making his decision, ruling it a no contest. And I thought that they were supposed to look at replay, because I know in Top Rank, when something happens like that with Top Rank events, they go and look at the replay. Now, everybody that was watching that saw clearly that it wasn't no nut shot. Wasn't even nowhere. I've never seen nobody get hit in the ribs, like on the side of the ribs, and then act like they got hit in the nuts. Like you see a guy get hit on the belt line or in the midsection area, but never in the side of the ribs and act like you got hit in the nuts, and then you got a fucking retarded ref that's falling for that shit. You know what I'm saying? You got a retarded ref that's gonna let you con him into making his decision. That was just horrible. But Money just broke the news that they actually turned the Regis Prograis decision into a TKO victory now. Before it was a no contest. But yeah, man, I'm glad that they, the commission went and changed that shit. And Ivan Redkach, he don't never need to be allowed to be put in the ring again, man, because this ain't his first incident. He bit Danny Garcia to get out of a fight, and now you fake getting hit in the nuts. Come on, bro. Like that shit is disgraceful to the sport, man. And you had a lot of fans that don't watch boxing, right? And this is why it's very disgraceful, right? In the setting and the platform that he did that shit on. If Pac-Man, ATL, what's good with it? Tay Jones off in the building. Salute to you. Yeah, man. And this is why it's very disgraceful what he did on the platform that he did it at. Because right
now, big bro, how you feeling, champ?
Right, Money, you on a platform, right, to where you got a couple fighters, right, real boxers, right, basically you and Regis Prograis were the only two active real professional fighters, right, out there on that card. So you supposed to show out in, make an example for the crowd to see, right? You're supposed to show out for everybody else, for your fellow boxing mates. Obviously, Regis Prograis came out there to do that, right? You fall out in the ring and do all this bullshit. Now the fans that don't really watch boxing, they just tuning in to see Jake Paul and these other celebrities. Now they looking at these boxers that's supposed to be the actual real fighters, and they laughing at this shit. Like, this what these dudes is doing? This what these dudes is doing, right? And then furthermore, I'm gonna get on high. It just got real bad, dog. It got real bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't ever need to have, to me, they need to ban his boxing license at least for a couple years for that shit, right? At least for a couple years. Uphold at least half of his purse. Because he needs to learn, dog. This ain't his first incident. First, you bite a man to get out of it. Now you doing this. You putting on a whole acting performance. That shit was it was sickening, man. It was sickening what he did. And shout out to Regis Prograis, man, because Regis put on another hell of a performance, and he always come out to do his job. You feel me? What you think about that whole situation with Ivan Redkach, dog?
Man, dude was worse than Andre Dirrell, man. Worse than Andre Dirrell. Like, I already knew he was joking from the beginning. Like, I knew it was he was looking for a way out already, bro. When I seen first of all, Keith, look at him at the first time when he got the hitting the ground with both his hands. He wasn't grabbing for nothing at that time. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden he just started going into Hollywood mode. End up grabbing his little nuts and shit, going down, kicking his feet like a little girl, just over exaggerating, bro. I'm looking like, bro, he hit you behind in a fucking rib. Like, how'd you grab your nuts, hit your rib? And everybody in the chat just, man, that was a low blow. Oh man, he say, man, if y'all believe that stupid ass shit, y'all a fool. He sitting up here acting like a mother, then go out on a stretcher, bro. You go out on a stretcher.
I forgot about that. That man actually went out on a stretch. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, bro.
I was so pissed off,
bro. Like, bro, ain't nobody never got hit in the nuts and went out on the stretch. Even the Rick Khan walked out the ring, bro. You sitting up here acting like he knocked your nuts to your chest. You know what I'm saying? He hit you that hard to where you can't feel your legs. You out here like, I'm like, this dude
got hit in his ribs and went out on the stretcher, dog.
And this is the thing, though, Key, bro. Look, nobody picked him to win the fight. So him lasting 6 to 8 or 9 rounds, bro, he don't know he was doing himself some justice. You feel me? Like, you would have got another fight. If you could have went 9 rounds and got stopped in the 10th or in the night like that, bro, I believe he still would have got another fight because you went 9 rounds with Regis Prograis, a hard punching motherfucker who nobody thought you were going to get past 5 rounds with. The odds were, I think, 5.5 rounds. So you go out there, you doing okay, right? It's just that you ain't. I don't know. It's like you say, bro. You bit Danny. You feel me? It's like I don't know what's up with Red Catch, bro. He a tough dude. He tough. He can take an ass whooping. He should have just took an ass whooping. But all that faking and acting, bro. He lost a lot of cool points with a lot of people because everybody know that shit was a joke. That's why they even had to overturn that shit. Like, come on, man. Ain't nowhere in here he hit you right here and you grab your nut acting like you finna die and all this shit. Like, come on, dog. It was just too much exaggeration, dog. Too much. So Reacher was doing this thing, bro. He's gonna get the stoppers anyway. You feel me? He knew it was bullshit when he looked at the camera, like, yeah, I see this shit. You know, so at the end of the day, Red Cat was looking for a way out. He got his little way out, and I'm like, you kid, I don't know how the fuck the ref can sit and see that punch and you know do all this shit and try to say, oh well, it was this and that. Like, come on, man. Everybody know that dude was acting, bro. For the Triller situation, man, it was just too much, man. It was just too much. They trying too hard, bro. Like you say, the core want that fire. You bringing in Justin Bieber like it was a goddamn. It was like we was watching the BET Awards, bro. We just had a little boxing mix. I'm like, God damn, bro. Who else y'all go bring out? Like, it was Cash Out Tomorrow that was gonna perform. Y'all ain't say no E40 was gonna perform, no Too Short, no Snoop Dogg, no Ice Cube. Y'all had y'all list of performers on there. Y'all brought out even more motherfuckers to perform. I'm like, God damn. Had the little script. Man, it was so much shit going on, bro. It's like they trying too hard, bro. They trying too hard to cross over to the hip hop community or some shit. Like, I don't know what Triller is on, bro. I'm looking like, man, thank God for the Tony Harrison fight. Because I can continue to watch that shit. I was switching back and forth. I'm like, man,
let me address this real quick. My bad to cut you off. Let me address this. So my man Ralph, what's good with you, Ralph? He said, and I'm gonna answer this for you, right? Because I talked about this. I already spoke on it earlier, right? A little bit, and I said what I was gonna do. So Ralph, you said, I just want to know where all the energy y'all was giving Canelo for fighting his Mando, but 160-pound Charlo don't get it either for his next fight. Now, Ralph, like as I said earlier, I said I'm gonna dedicate a whole show to his motherfucking ass. So tune in tomorrow. Because you know it was a lot of shit that went on this weekend, so I didn't want to put, you know, I don't have all that time to be, you know, getting into that. But tune in tomorrow. And you better believe he's about to get cooked. So tune in tomorrow, Ralph, and you better believe he about to get cooked. Straight up. Me and Money already been talking about that behind the scenes.
Yes, sir.
You know I keep the same, and so you know I keep the same energy whether it's a fighter I like, love, or don't like. What's good with you, May and Rashad? Be that bitch. What's going down with it, Queen?
Be that bitch was going down, man.
My bad, Money. I just had to address that real quick.
Oh, it's all good, bro. Just with the Triller situation, bro, I just feel like they trying too hard, bro. They, you know, and I don't want boxing going in that direction because they kept talking about the Snoop camera and they showing all this shit, all that. I just think when we hardcore boxing fans, bro, we just want our boxing. That's how I was feeling. I'm like, God damn, when did we get into the next fight, bro? Like, we seen one fight and we went on a whole motherfucking concert tour. You feel me? For about 2 damn hours almost just to get to the next fight. I'm like, God damn, what the fuck, man? Like, is y'all gonna show boxing or y'all showing this motherfucking BT MTV award ass shit? Like, it was just too much for me, bro. Now, like I say, to the entertainment business, yes, I get what y'all trying to do. I get it, but y'all don't need all those damn performances, man. Y'all bringing up E40 and Too Short and Ice Cube, like, people ain't looking to see them dudes perform, looking at no fucking boxing. Not saying it was a bad thing, but especially with the youth, y'all gonna have the youth watching. The youth ain't trying to hear no goddamn Too Short name and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They looking for they era rappers. You feel me? So, yeah, for real.
That's funny you said that, man. I was watching the fight with my my partner little son, my partner's son. He watching it and he like, what's this? I don't want to. Who is these old men? And I was like, man, them dudes is legends. He was like, are they legends now? Are they the best in rap? I was like, man, them dudes used to be at one point. They was the best rappers in the game. And then he was like, I don't want to hear this. Turn. He was like, turn. And so what you said is right, man. But it's just like, I didn't want to see none of that shit. It was cool if you put like 1 or 2 performances, but don't nobody want to, and especially with no crowd, dog. With like you having all them performances with no crowd, it's just not like, nah, man, that ain't it.
Right, bro. Hell yeah, be that bitch right. I don't know what she was on it. I'm like, they going crazy on this shit. They trying their best, and then you bring out Justin Bieber. Like, man, I don't know what the hell they was on, but it was just too much for me, kid. Like they was just trying too damn hard, bro. And the core already want that fire to start with, to have motherfucker attention span just standing there waiting to see the net. Like, all right, fuck it. Okay, we know we got
dog. Like besides Regis program in the main event, that shit was weak.
Right, and then the main event last motherfucker a minute and something. So it's like
we're gonna cook on that too.
Yeah, it was just too much for me, bro. Like they just trying too hard. They trying too hard, and I don't want boxing to go in that direction, bro. It's cool, like I say, kid. It's cool if you gonna have the celebrity matches and shit like that, entertainers and things of that nature. Okay, you got hip hop fighters fighting and shit like that. But when you start having like a Regis program and a fucking Ivan Redcatch as the co-main event, you feel me? That's what I don't like, because we don't need former champions, you know, that can put themselves in position to fight for another world champion, being the co-main event to no goddamn YouTube stars. And I don't give a fuck how much money they making, but we not, you know, because Regis didn't really gain no fans off of that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody kept coming to my chat. Oh, when did Jake Paul in that fight? When to start? So they're not coming to see them fight. Like they're not really gaining nothing. They getting a big ass paycheck, but to me, they're not really gaining no fans off that shit. That's just to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and so this is why I want to transition to the title of the video. You know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot of fighters and a lot of fight fans mad because Jake Paul is coming out here, you know what I'm saying, main event, selling more pay-per-views and making more noise, right? And this is why. And see, a lot of people mad about that shit, right? But this is why he's outshining your favorite boxer. Jake Paul, this is why Jake Paul and these YouTube dudes is outshining your favorite boxer. And I'm going to get into that right now, right? Because I know a lot of fighters are mad about this shit because they feel like, you know, we've been training our whole life and now the whole world is tuning into YouTube stars and shit, you know, trying to take over boxing and getting more pay-per-views, right? Getting more light on their events than we are. And see, you mad in the boxing fans. Some boxing fans are mad, and I see a lot of people hating on Jake Paul, talking about, and you know, we know he went out there and he got a spectacular first round knockout. You know what I'm saying? He went out there and he fought a former MMA champion. So it wasn't like this dude wasn't a combat sports champion himself before. And Jake Paul got him up out of there. Now, Jake Paul, he takes boxing serious when he trains. He trains hard. He takes it serious, right? We've talked about that. I told y'all that he was going to go out there and get Ben Askren her ass whooping. I told you he's going to beat Ben Askren ass. Ben Askren is not a stand-up guy. He ain't got no hands like that. And y'all seen that early on. Jake Paul went out there and he did his thing. And he showed out. And the thing is, he went out there, it made more noise than anybody on the card for the second time in a row. And see, this is the problem why a lot of y'all mad at Jake Paul and hating on him. I can't hate on him. He out there, he going out there getting his bag. He talks shit. Y'all like, oh, well, look at the level of competition he fight. He not fighting top. The motherfucker's not a boxer. He's not a professional boxer, right? And then y'all talking about the competition level. Well, who the fuck you want him to fight? I mean, when a lot of y'all boxers ain't fighting the competition level that they supposed to be fighting. He fighting the same level of competition that most fighters are fighting when they coming up through the ranks. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? He fighting the same level of competition that most of y'all fighters, most of these fighters, when they coming up through the ranks, they fighting that level of competition. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's an MMA dude or not, right? But the thing is, the reason he making more noise and a lot of y'all motherfuckers is mad is because he is actually, right? He actually out here saying who he gonna fight and making the fights. Your favorite fighters are not making these fights. We come on here talking about these big mega fights. But you motherfucking fighters, y'all ain't fighting each other. That's why these MMA guys and these motherfucking YouTube stars are able to come into the sport and sell more pay-per-views, right? And do this shit and be talked about. Because in boxing, the biggest fights that we want to see, the fans are not able to see it. If y'all motherfuckers were fighting each other, y'all it wouldn't be no room for these YouTube stars and these UFC fighters and celebrities to go out there and make these big bags. It would not be no room for that shit, right? Right? It wouldn't be no room for that shit. But y'all make room for it because all we can do is come out here and beg and talk about these big fights in boxing that never happened while y'all sitting around fucking, you know what I'm saying, doing whatever the fuck y'all do, not fighting each other, right? Y'all not fighting each other. So you making room for these dudes to come in there. If boxing gave us the fights that the fans want to see, if y'all fighters went out there and actually fought each other, if y'all promoters got off of that bullshit, right? If all of that, we got the fights as boxing fans, right? The fan base of boxing would grow, right? It would continue to grow because big fights, people are going to talk about big fights, right? Whether you're a huge boxing fan, a diehard or not. When it's a big fight, they're going to promote it on ESPN, Fox. It's going to be talked about. The fan that's not interested in boxing like that, they're going to get interested in making the big fights is going to bring new fans to the sport. But you're not making it. So us on here talking about these fucking fights, all that shit is just a fantasy because we ain't getting none of them. We're not getting none of these fights, right? None of these big fights. So we talking about it, but we ain't getting none of that shit. So you leaving the door wide open for dudes like Jake Paul and all of that to come in, right, and showcase and get a bag, right? Now the attention of the fans that's you know could be following, new fans that could be following boxing, it's all on Jake Paul and celebrities and shit. Because you motherfuckers ain't fighting. So before you fans start crying about it, oh, this is a disgrace and this and that. Look at your favorite fighter, right? Before these fighters start complaining about that shit, look in the mirror and ask yourself, could I be doing more? Could I be fighting the best of the best? And these promoters got to do the same shit. So that's the reason why Jake Paul and all these guys are able to come over and get a big bag and sell more pay-per-views. Because your favorite fighter is doing what the fuck he's supposed to do to make the big fights. And that's just what it is. You know? And let me get through some of these comments. Let me see. Let me see. Chris Mitchell, he's saying 100% facts on that on the top boxers not fighting each other. Yeah, man. So it's like, what y'all to fucking expect? Y'all sit around crying about, oh, you ain't fighting this guy and this guy don't deserve this. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all sit around making a million excuses not to fight each other. And then, you know what I'm saying, mad or wonder why these dudes is able to come in the sport and bust that bitch wide open. D Great throwing the towel said, Bud and Spence, Charlo, Canelo, we've been waiting for a whole lot of big fights that's not happening. All we do is come on here and talk about this shit like it's a fucking fantasy. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is, man. You go ahead and cook on that, money.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. I agree with it 100%. Like, you can't knock that man for coming in, you know, bringing his fan base in, selling 1.5. You know, y'all not talking shit. Y'all not giving excitement. Y'all not putting yourself out there. Jake Paul know what he doing. Jake Paul going at Mayweather. Jake Paul going at Canelo. Jake Paul going at Conor McGregor. Jake Paul going at any motherfucker that got some substance. And he's not just doing it, he's doing it consistently, bro. He's doing it consistently. You know what I'm saying? He's talking his shit. That motherfucker drinking liquor on television. Like he got the YouTube crowd, bro. He already got a fan base. You know what I'm saying? He already got a fan base. Dude got like 30 million followers and on fucking, you know, on the social media. So of course, when you that big and you talking and you growing, those numbers you gonna do. Those numbers you gonna do. Like I say, it's entertaining at the end of the day, bro. He's entertaining. That's what he's doing. He's entertaining, and he can fight. It ain't like he just no pushover, like he ain't got no skills, like he just going in there going balls to the wall. Dude actually got some skills, bro. Like I said, Corey Spinks told me that. He watched him spar, say he just ain't got no defense. Even Zab Judah said he can fight. Like Zab say, I'm not just here to blow no damn smoke. Dude can fight. You know, and like he trying to put himself in position to be the best fighter he can be. You know, but his troll game, his mouthpiece, you know, his performances, they all add up, bro. They all add up. And like you say, Keith, for you fighters to get out here and try to criticize him, you motherfuckers need to be taking a note out of his playbook. Even though, you know, it's the same shit Floyd and Conor be doing, but it's working for him. It don't work for everybody, but it's working for him. You know, so at the end of the day, bro, I'm not finna knock him. You know, he doing what he's supposed to do to get ahead. You feel me? He's still getting in the ring, knocking motherfuckers out. Whether we want to say we like it or not, he knocking their ass out. That's what I say. And you gotta respect it, bro. You gotta respect it. I can't take nothing away from the kid. The kid doing his thing, bro. He talking his shit. He living up to what he's saying, right? That's the main part right there, Keith. Living up to what he's saying. He said he gonna knock his ass out. He knocked him out. Said he gonna knock out Nate Robinson. Knocked his ass out. So he living up to what he's saying, and you gotta respect that. You gotta respect, you know. So I'm not finna knock him for getting his bridging. I'm not finna knock no man for getting their money. You feel me? We ain't knocked Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. We know they legends, right? I'm not finna knock Jake Paul for talking this shit and putting himself in position to feed his family, bro. You know, and the shit is entertaining, and I like him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like Jake Paul.
Entertaining. He got more swag and motherfucking charisma to him than shit 98% of these fighters do.
Like I like him, bro. I actually like him, bro. Like for real. Like he talking shit, bro, and he ain't bagging down from nobody, bro. He's not bagging down from nobody. You hear me? So respect to him. I'm not gonna shit on him like you, Key. I ain't hating on him. So you motherfuckers not fighting each other. So when y'all get to fighting each other, we'll see y'all numbers rise up. You know, we'll see y'all numbers rise up. But right now, you know, like I said, I don't want boxing going in this direction. I like it as entertainment purpose, you know, and I respect it. I bought the pay-per-view. You feel me? I respect it. But I just don't want to see fighters running over there and shit, you know, having these little fights trying to get a big ass bag because it's Triller and they need motherfuckers on the card. You feel me? Now you motherfuckers stand in this boxing ring and do what y'all supposed to do for us hardcore fans and let that entertainment shit be that entertainment shit. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, dog, it's entertainment. Triller know what they doing for us entertaining. That's why I say they was entertaining. But for us to fight in the boxing, I don't want to see boxing going in that direction. But I'm not gonna hate on that kid, bro.
Yeah, man. And the thing is none of us want to see boxing go in that direction. But if y'all motherfuckers keep sitting around, you know what I'm saying, looking crazy in the face and making all types of excuses not to fight the next best man next to you, boxing might go in that direction, right? It might go in that direction because think about this. If we were on here right now, you know, through the weeks or whatever before this happened, and we was talking about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight already in the works was about to happen, right? Or a Terrence Crawford and Porter fight that was already signed and about to happen, or motherfucking Tank Davis and Teofimo Lopez, or Wilder and Fury 3, or whatever, you know, and I could go on until tomorrow with big fights, right, that could happen in the sport of boxing that's not being made, right? If one of them events or a few of them events was on the horizon, already signed, sealed, and delivered, wouldn't nobody be talking about no fucking Jake Paul, right? that Jake Paul event wouldn't be as big. That them YouTubes and all of that. If y'all had been doing, like I said, like I always say, money, in 2017, boxing came out with a fucking bang. You had great fights, and it came up from the fucking grave. Because before that, boxing was in the downward trend. It was hurting. 2017, they came back with a bang. Everybody was talking about boxing, and then it's just from there, you up here, and now you just keep going downhill from there, right? So what if we had these big fights to talk about? If ESPN and Fox had these big fights to promote or to display on their networks and platforms, all of this YouTube shit wouldn't be big. Y'all made it like this, right? Y'all made it like this. And fans have a lot to do with this bullshit too, because you're not holding your fighter to the standard that you should hold them to. When your favorite fighter come on here, you know what I'm saying, get in the ring, fighting opponent after opponent after opponent, and ain't none of them nowhere near the best in his weight division, and you don't hold him to it, right? And you just ride with that shit just because he your favorite fighter or you like the dude. That's the fucking problem. You not putting no pressure on these fighters to fight the best, right? So it's the fans and the fighters. So you can't complain and get mad when somebody like Jake Paul is out here getting the bag. And like Money said, man, he's actually really trying to fight credible opponents. Nate Robinson had called him out. You know, I don't know how this Ben Askren shit came about, but he trying to fight Conor McGregor. He been trying to call out and fight Conor McGregor. You know, to me, that's a solid fight. They both got, you know, similar backgrounds in boxing. So that's a solid fight. You know, and he fuck around and get the Conor McGregor fight, that shit gonna blow up everywhere. So you boxers should be looking at that, right? And this is how I look at it, Money, is all these fighters that's out here making excuses why they don't want to fight the next best fighter in their division. Making excuses on, oh, well, he ain't fought nobody. He don't deserve this and this and that, right? They need to look at what Jake Paul and them is doing and these celebrities, right? And they need to realize, you know what? I got to do something big, and I got to do something big quick, right? They better do something big, and they better do something big quick. Because the shit that they doing, it ain't working. It ain't working. And you're going to fuck around and let these YouTube dudes surpass y'all. They're already getting higher pay-per-view numbers. So, you know, man, they got to start putting on, dog. They got to start putting on, right? Because it's like boxing and these boxing promoters and, you know, these fighters, once they get to a certain level, it's like the fans don't exist no more. It's like they don't give a fuck what the fans want no more. You know what I'm saying? They getting they little money and riding off and don't have no intentions on fighting the best fighters. No intentions on fighting the fight that the fans want to see them fight. And that's a problem. But you know, that's a problem, dog. But yeah, man, what you got on that, Money?
Yeah, bro, they gotta get in there and put the best versus the best, you know. And looking at Jake Paul, that 1.5, if that number real, even Mayweather go start paying attention. You feel me? You selling 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, shit, that's what they looking for. You know what I mean? That's what they looking for. So that's something you can't deny, bro. That's something you can't deny. You feel me? And when I seen that, I say, damn, is that number real? And it looking like it's real, bro. It's looking like it's real. So I'm trying to tell people, bro, when you do shit like that, you're not going nowhere, dog. You're not going nowhere. You selling 1.5 pay-per-view buys, you're not going nowhere. So these dudes, they better start fighting now. Like you say, kid, they better start getting their ass in the ring, making these big fights happen. Making these big fights happen. Because if not, you go see that 1.5 and motherfuckers spending $50 and $75 on Jake Paul and then you coming up trying to be on pay-per-view and motherfuckers ain't buying that shit. You know what I mean? So they got to make it worth it, bro. They got to make it worth it. Because Jake Paul, I don't see that kid. If nobody beat him, I don't see him slowing down no time soon. And I don't see Triller stopping trying to, getting the money that they getting, bro. Putting the money behind them and reaping their benefits. So at the end of the day, it's going to come down to boxing, getting in that motherfucker, the best fighting the best. They got to quit bullshit. You know what I mean? This is a time where everything is lining up because the divisions is coming to just the top cats fighting each other now. You know what I mean? Ain't no mandatories in the way. You motherfuckers did everything y'all need to do. And the stars is lining up for y'all to fight each other now in 2021. And y'all can give us a hell of a fucking ending at the end of 2021 with the fights that's going to go on right now. So all we gonna do is just wait and see, bro. All we gonna do is wait and see what they gonna say. If they gonna sit on the sideline like I say, can't talk shit about this kid. Because one thing about Jake Paul, he gonna talk shit back to your ass. He gonna talk shit back. He ain't now this motherfucker just go keep his mouth shut. If you say some shit about him, he go he go troll the shit out your ass. He go mean the shit out your ass. Right. And he gonna make your ass famous. And this little fan base is gonna run with that shit and laugh at your ass. You know what I'm saying?
He know how to promote himself.
Exactly, bro. He know how to promote himself, bro.
While the rest of these dudes running around here, they get too big. They don't want to do interviews, and they too big to go on and do the shit that they have to promote themselves. Then they sit back and wonder why these motherfucking YouTube dudes is out doing them.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. So yeah, they can say if they want to say. You feel me? At the end of the day, that cat will continue to do 1.5 or even more. Or even more, as long as you keep knocking these motherfuckers out. And Ben Askren was a former fighter, so hey, credit to him, bro. Credit to him. Even Daniel Cormier had to give him some credit. Like, goddamn, motherfucker actually got some skills. He said, "Oh shit, come on, man!" But he actually got some skills, bro. Going down to the body, came with the overhand right and land that motherfucker right on top of his head and knocked his ass clean out. So respect to him, bro. But I'm with you, bro. They got to start. The fighters boxing, they got to start putting themselves in position to make these big fights happen. Make these big fights happen. Because if not, like you say, we're going to continue to get these motherfuckers Jake Pauls versus who knows next. You know what I mean? Logan Paul versus who knows next. And y'all go see y'all money slide on over to them dudes. Because they're going to be going on pay-per-view in the same month you motherfuckers supposed to be going on pay-per-view. And everybody ain't going to want to buy 2 pay-per-views back to back. So y'all gonna be losing out on y'all shit. Y'all better make this shit worth our while. Feel me? Y'all better make this shit worth our while, bro. Because if you go into that motherfucker, they put you on pay-per-view against some nobody, right? And then this motherfucker come on pay-per-view against a former whoever, and the shit sounding appealing, and he going before you, and people know it's gonna be entertaining and all this shit, then y'all go see about it. Y'all go see about it, bro.
Right. Man, and one thing, answer this, man. So if we, I just basically brainstorm across, big mega fights, right, that we not getting. Say if we had some of those fights, right, they promoted on ESPN, Fox, everywhere. Do you think that this Jake Paul and these YouTube dudes would get them attention if we did have some big fights like that we was talking about every day on the horizon in boxing that was already signed, sealed, and delivered?
Hell no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the focus wouldn't be so much on that. But y'all not doing nothing. Right? Y'all not doing nothing. We got to come in here, motherfucking debate Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence fucking split and what's going on with that shit. $1 billion in fucking 2 times. And everybody want to hear that, but because everybody's intrigued in that shit, right? So in Tyson Fury and Wilder and all that shit, everybody's so intrigued in that shit because that's the closest that they get into a fight happening, seeing us arguing over it. And that's a damn shame. It's a fucking shame, But yeah, man, they just need to. Fighters, man, they need to step it up, dog. They need to step it up. But I think, a lot of these fighters, they looking at it as they're getting paid regardless. You feel me? Like a lot of these fighters, they like fuck what the fans want to see. Shit, fuck if you want to fuck fighting the best. If y'all gonna pay me big paper, you know, to fight mediocre opposition, right? And I'm gonna get paid regardless. And I can skip around and you know, get all these belts, so I can still grab me a belt because there's a million belts. Boxing fucked up. You know, boxing fucked up, but it's gonna take the best, these fighters that call themselves the best, to start moving like that, man. Until then, like I said, man, this YouTube shit, it might take over these celebrities and things. Cause man, they got some big hitters behind them. Triller, and then Mike Tyson, he coming with his Legends League. It, you know, it's a lot of shit going on, dog.
Hell yeah, man. You miss the little rappers and shit like that. Like it's powerful influence, bro. Like they bring their little audience over and shit like that. So, you know, people go, they influence the motherfuckers to come over and shit. And then you put on these long ass concerts, like I said, entertainment, bro. And everybody love entertainment. Entertainment always go sell. A circus show always go sell. So, like you say, if we had Earl Spence and Bud coming up, man, ain't nobody talking about no goddamn Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Teofimo, Javante Davis, Teofimo, Devin Haney. Ain't nobody talking about no Jake Paul. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Like, we getting these big fights that we looking for. We not paying attention to that shit, and we saving our money for this big ass boxing match. Like, shit, nigga. You know, for the fight this Saturday, I ain't worrying about that shit, nigga. I'm finna buy this motherfucking Spencer Crawford. Like, that's where my money going to. But, you know, like you say, they continue to wait. This was gonna happen.
Mike Ron say it ain't the fighters. The commission has to start setting standards to keep you from holding the belts hostage. He says champion must fight a champion at least once a year. Yeah, and that's what I said. Boxing overall, it got a lot to do with the fighters. It got a lot to do with the promoters and the commission. So boxing overall, but at the end of the day, the fighters are in control. If the fighters studded up on their motherfucking nuts, right? They are the product. You feel what I'm saying? They are the ones that fans come to see and watch. People don't come to see the fucking commissioner or the promoter. They can take control of that shit if they really wanted to. You see what I'm saying? They can take control of that shit if they really wanted to. But you know, man, it's just a fucked up situation. So you can't get mad at Jake Paul and Logan Paul and KSI and, you know what I'm saying, fucking Bosco 100 or whatever. You know, all these dudes coming in. They left the door open. They left the door open because they kept pussyfooting around and bullshitting. So the fighters in boxing left the door wide open. So man, you dig what I'm saying? If they didn't, like I said, like me and Money, like I said, and Money agreed, hey, if they was making the best mega fights like everybody wanted to see, the door wouldn't be open. It wouldn't be no room for them. And if they tried to do what they're doing, nobody would be paying attention to that shit. Yeah. Right? And that's just it. Like in the 70s and the 90s, that shit wouldn't have stood. You know why? Money. Why they couldn't have done this shit? Well, it wasn't no YouTube and none of that shit. But besides the fact, you know what I'm saying? Why say fucking goddamn Sylvester Stallone against fucking
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Jean-Claude Van Damme? You know what I'm saying? They could have tried to fight celebrity fight against each other in the 90s and like that, right? But it wouldn't have held no weight. People would have just laughed at that shit and wouldn't really be paying attention to it because you were getting what you wanted. You see what I'm saying? You was already full. If I'm hungry, feed me. You feel what I'm saying? So in the 80s and 90s, this shit that's going down right here, it wouldn't have held no weight because we was already getting what we wanted to see. Right? We was already full off of what we wanted to see. And when we was hungry, they'll come feed you some more. Now we ain't getting nothing. All we doing is talking about the shit. Mm-hmm. And that's why. So, you know, we can't get mad at it. We just gotta sit back, accept it for what it is, and realize why it is what it is and why it's going on. And Randall Bivens says, Key, he said, you have a point. If boxers' numbers of followers to justify not boxing someone, then fighting Jake wouldn't be too bad of a move, right? Exactly. Jake has 1 million strong. He got way more than that. He got way more followers than that. But yeah, and then they do that also money. Like they use the fucking person's Instagram followers or you know what I'm saying, social media following to make excuses on why they not gonna fight, you know, the next best guy and all of that dumb shit, dog. Like, man, it's ridiculous. It's a fucking joke. You know, Todd Swindle said, fuck around and Spence and Crawford be on the undercard of Jake Paul fight. Nah, see that, but see, this is the problem. If a Spence and Crawford fight was made, wouldn't nobody give a fuck about no Jake Paul fight? Because everybody that's a boxing fan, from the diehards to the casuals to the people that just watch boxing every now and then, their focus would be on Spence and Crawford. When you turn on Fox sports events, Undisputed, all the other Fox sports events, they will be talking about Spence and Crawford. When you turn to ESPN, Sports Center, fucking First Take and all them shows, they would be talking about Errol Spence and Crawford fighting. YouTube, everybody on YouTube would be talking about Errol Spence and Crawford fighting. So Jake Paul fighting somebody wouldn't have no light on it. He would have to use strictly his YouTube fan base. That's all, because wouldn't nobody else care about that shit. But that's why we are talking about Jake Paul. That's why when you go to boxing channels, they're talking about Jake Paul, what he did on Saturday. It ain't because fucking they had a Regis Prograis and Ivan Redcatch on that shit. It's because of that's what everybody talking about. You know what I'm saying? They left the door open and he came and walked through it. You know what I'm saying? If you leave your front door open, you can't get mad at somebody walking through it. And that's just what it is. Like I said, man, if we got these big fights, the light wouldn't be on this Triller celebrity stuff. And these fighters are seeing that. Now these fighters are trying to go over to Triller and get a bag. But the problem is, right? The problem is, I don't want to see Triller start giving these fighters these bags just to come on their platform and fight. If you're going to give them a bag, I want them to make it strict. Okay, if you give us this fight that we want to see, we'll give y'all a big bag and y'all can come over to Triller. But don't come over here just trying to get a big bag for fighting nobody, because that's going to fucking be a problem. You feel what I'm saying? If they do that and they continue to accept that on Triller, that's going to make a bigger problem in boxing. So all the fighters going to see that. And the way these fighters are built nowadays, they run into the money. They not running to no smoke. They going to go over to Triller because they know they can get a big bag in an easy fight. So they need to draw the line somewhere. And you go ahead, Money. Valentine in the building, salute.
You hitting everything on the head. Shit, you hitting everything on the head, bro. Just don't come down to their ass. Understanding what is what. You know what I mean? Y'all want to protect the sport. Y'all saying they making a mockery of the sport. Well, do something about it. Do something about it. You feel me? And the only way to do something about it, like you're saying, if y'all get in that motherfucker and put the best versus the best, that make people shy away from their ass. But other than that, like I say, this shit gonna continue to happen, dog. They fan base getting bigger and bigger. It's growing, it's growing. Look at me motherfuckers watching that shit, dog. I'm talking on the celebrity standpoint. They got how many motherfuckers dropping little clips on what Jake Paul done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that shit is catchy, bro. It's entertaining, like I say. And everybody love entertainment. Like you had Tony Harrison, the real fighter, former champion, fighting on the same day as Jake Paul. He smoked his ass. Smoked him, wasn't even close. Pay-per-view to, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's what it's coming to, bro. And that's the fucked up situation. But if you had like you say, a real fight that had our attention, right? Of course, Jake Paul still gonna do what he do, and a couple of kids gonna be bound, but not the real hardcore boxing fans. We ain't gonna be over there for that shit.
And another thing, money, is when they do put on pay-per-views, stop putting on fucking one decent fight on the main event and then a fucking undercard worth of bullshit.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and now the people that's tuning in, the new people that's tuning in and buying these events, they having to fucking sit through a whole night of fucking bullshit, right? And then by the time the main event comes, they already talking shit about boxing. They're already exhausted. Like, this is boxing. Like, this is why we don't watch boxing. This is why I much rather watch UFC, because they sat through fucking 3 hours of bullshit before they got to the main event. And they, you know what I'm saying? They didn't do that in the 90s, dog. They were, if they put on in the 90s, in the early 2000s, in the 80s, if they put on a card, it was a whole fucking fight card if they made you pay for it. You feel what I'm saying? So put a Tony Harrison on the undercard of an Errol Spence. You know, make the whole card interesting. If you making people pay for some shit, don't make people pay for a bunch of bullshit and then one decent fight at the end. If it's pay-per-view, make a motherfucking pay-per-view card. Otherwise, say the rest of that bullshit for regular TV. Straight up, look at a UFC card. I know you don't follow UFC like that, but look at a UFC card, money. If you buy a UFC event they put on pay-per-view, you get in your money's worth. Dana White is not, and I know he don't pay his fighters, there's a lot of bullshit, but he is giving the fans what they want to see. The whole card be fucking stacked. And you get the card, you be like, damn, I'm getting all this. And then you satisfied. It's just, boxing is just, you know, when you start talking about this shit, man, it just put a sour taste in my mouth. And I'm a diehard boxing fan, so just imagine how the casual fan looks at it, or the fan that's trying to come into boxing, but they ain't giving them nothing to fucking come in and watch. Randall Bivens says, I remember Steven Seagal, Van Damme wanted to fight each other, but due to our satisfaction with Tyson, De La Hoya, May, and others, they wasn't getting no shine. It wasn't going to happen. Exactly. Like you said, Randall Bivens, because our focus in the fans and the American fans and everybody was so focused because they was already full, right? They was getting what they wanted. If a motherfucker's hungry, money, what do you do if you hungry?
Going out to do what I gotta do to eat.
Yeah, you searching. If you hungry, you searching for food. It don't matter if you sit in the house hungry. You know you ain't got no food in the crib, right? But you sitting there fucking, you going back and forth through that cabinet looking, you know what I'm saying? You outside in the freezer box looking, you hungry. You searching for some shit. So a fan that is a fan of combat sports, if you're not getting what you want, you searching. So motherfuckers are searching. Now they searching, they found their way to the UFC. Bam. Right? They searching, now they found their way to Triller and all this celebrity shit because you left them hungry. You ain't give them no choice. That's what it is, dog.
Yeah, facts. So that's what it's gonna come down to. Y'all gotta go out there and make this shit happen. They got the power to do it. No, they got the power to do it. I don't want to hear that shit. So these dudes, like I say, it's gonna continue to come, Key, because I don't see Triller slowing down. They got the next card coming with Ted Fimo and who on that bitch, Holyfield, and another cat. I forgot who was on there. Damn, I forgot who he fighting. I ain't touched that, but it's Holyfield. And that card go be, I think that shit go sell. Like that shit go sell. Yeah, you know, so they doing what they gotta do, bro. They doing what they gotta do. You know, it's entertainment. Like I keep saying, it's entertainment, bro. You know, so These cats better catch up.
And
They
then
better
you got
catch up
Mike Tyson. Then you got Mike Tyson, like I said, money. He coming with that Legends Only League. And let me get this super chat. I appreciate my man Matthew Valentine always showing love, man, coming in with that super chat. He says, facts. Let's freaking go. Yeah, we gotta cook on this. You got Mike Tyson coming in with the Legends Only League, dog. And it's crazy, man, because I've been watching his podcast, right? You know. And he very vocal about he ain't fucking with Triller. His shit is the Legends Only League. And Mike Tyson talk about that shit so much on his podcast. You can't even get through an interview with him. Like every second. Like, man, you got to go watch the T.O. shit. Mike Tyson, man, is probably one of the biggest coons. Dog, and I hate to say it. You got to watch that shit, dog. T.O. stood on his square. T.O. was trying to, explain to him the racial injustice and the, everything going on in America. And Tyson was like getting mad at him, you know what I'm saying? And try to overtalk him and try to basically saying that he was full of shit and it didn't exist type of shit. And T.O. stood on the square, dog. T.O. stood on the square. But
check that out. I ain't see that.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, dog. And Tyson, man, he be on one, dog. I don't know if he be so like and I've seen this in several interviews. Like when he had the white dude on there with him, Evan, it was better. You know what I'm saying? You can tell Tyson needs, huh?
No, I said nothing.
Tyson needs somebody like Evan on there with him because Tyson is off the chain now. Like his shit is off the chain now. He don't let you get a word in. He overtalk you the whole time, and he just be saying crazy shit. Like T.O. trying to talk about his career and like certain things and racial injustice, and Tyson just sit there. Man, I know you fucked a lot of bitches in your career, huh? Look at you, man. You just a fucking handsome motherfucker. You fuck everything, don't you, man? I can look at you and tell. And T.O. like, yeah, but man, so everything that's going on in America, yeah, man, fuck that, man. We want to talk about the pussy, man. It like he off the chain, dog. And like
even when I was watching him with Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hitman was like, he talking about pretty motherfucker, look a pretty motherfucker doing that shit. I'm like, oh man, why is this dude always
like? T.O. was trying to get like he had another guy on the show that was helping him host it at that point, and you could kind of tell the other dude he's an active football player, so he was trying to ask T.O. some interesting questions like about things that go on behind the scenes in football, just stuff that we want to hear. If you tune into a T.O. interview, shit that you want to know about and stuff in. Tyson just wouldn't, dog. He kept over talking everybody, saying shit that didn't have nothing to do with none. And then when they did start talking about the racial injustice and the inequality that happens in, with blacks and everything, just Tyson just started going off the dog. It was crazy. Y'all gotta watch that shit, man. Tyson, like, he does not need to be on no platform like that. At first, that hot boxing with Mike Tyson, I was like, man, this shit dope. Like he always had good people on there. But he needs somebody to go in there and take over and talk for him. You know what I'm saying? He need to y'all gotta watch it to see what I'm talking about. But he is the worst interviewer I've ever seen by a long shot. Like you can't get nothing out. He don't let, and then they're trying to conduct shit that people want to hear. He don't let them get no words out. He don't let them talk. He talk over him, and then he tries to intimidate him and shit, dog. You gotta watch it. You gotta see how he was looking at T.O. He was trying to intimidate T.O., right? But T.O. wasn't going, dog. And then when T.O. was like telling him, he's like, bro, you getting why you go getting so offensive? Why you getting so offensive? And T.O. was like, man, I ain't offensive. I'm just trying to tell you, dog. Like, yeah, you gotta see it, man. You could tell. Watching that, man, I saw like you could tell Tyson, he still tries to use that intimidation factor with people. You know what I'm saying? He still got that in him that he tries to intimidate people, and it usually worked. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't working with T.O. And shout out to T.O. He stood on the square, dog. But if for a fact, he was like, man, what's wrong with this dude? Like, man, like you could tell his frustration, T.O.'s frustration, but he was able to hold it through. And I know it was hard for him to hold that shit through because Tyson, man, I don't know. And I know he be smoking a lot of weed, but weed don't make you do that. Tyson look like he be on some other shit now, dog. I don't know. Cause he be off the chain. He been off the chain lately, dog. And like you said, you watched him with the Sugar Ray Leonard. You see how they were trying to have a dialogue, even on there with the Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns and Shane Mosley. They was trying to have a dialogue and talk, and Tyson was just off the meter, dog. He was talking about shit that didn't even make no sense.
For real, bro. Like taking that shit off. You see, Sugar Ray kept trying to get to Tommy. Like you say, he kept joining in, and Shane Mosley didn't know what the fuck to say. He just up there looking like a deer in the head, like just smiling and shit. But he just trying to control every aspect of it, bro. Like I'm like, bro, let them talk. Shut your ass up, bro. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then Ray, Ray, they weren't even some of the shit he was just talking. Like, I know he's feeling stupid, but they weren't even answering his ass on some of the shit.
Man, I know this T.O. joint, dog.
Nah, I'm checking. I'm looking it up right now. I'm checking that shit. Bro.
It was hard for me to watch the interview because it was so bad. I started feeling T.O.'s frustration. Like I was like, man, I wouldn't have been able to do it, dog. I wouldn't have been able to hold it together because it was like, man. And T.O. at one point he was like, man, if you be quiet for a minute and you know what I'm saying, and listen, let me say what I'm gonna say. Like I explained it to you. Like, dude wouldn't shut the fuck up. It's like, man, why you even have him on the show if you just gonna overtalk him and continue and continue and continue and continue? But Mike Ryan, we don't do that to you. We calms you down. Like he be on some other shit. Valentine said he be on that coke. Now he used to be on that coke real bad. So I wouldn't. I sure wouldn't doubt if he on that shit again. It's funny because he used to stay up here in Phoenix, right? And my partners used to be at the casino all the time, so they used to see him. And they said that they said Mike Tyson one time they was in the bathroom with Tyson, and Tyson had his whole nose in the bag full of coke, just had put his whole nose in, it was just sniffing coke, going to the bathroom sniffing coke, just outright didn't give a fuck, was gone. Yeah, so
shit. Tyson said his stuff how he was sniffing coke. Shit, how he just take his whole face and just
yeah. My partner seen him do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because they have him. The only reason he is the worst interviewer ever, but the only reason he got that platform and people coming on there is because it's Mike Tyson. But if you go watch the shit, it's pitiful. It was better organized when that white dude was on there because he kind of would take, I don't know. Mike Tyson wasn't really that off the meter though. He was able to, when he first started doing the show, he was able to conduct the show and ask like real questions and have real dialogue. Now he's not able to do that. So I think it's either his mental health is just going off the meter or he on some shit, dog. He on some drugs because he's not the same. If you watch the show when he first started it until now, he's not the same. He ain't the same. And he getting money now. He getting big money now. So he might be back to the old Tyson. Indulging. Cause he just do weird and the shit he was asking, and like the attention span is about that short, dog. Todd Swindle says, with Tyson, that could be those mental health issues coming out. Yeah, it definitely is, though, Todd. Y'all go watch that. Go watch the Terrell Owens, the hot boxing episode with T.O. on there. Valentine says, I'm from Jersey. He lived 10 minutes from me. Dude is whack. Yeah, dude is a head case, man. Like that, watching his show just lets you know, man, he's on another level, dog. On a whole nother level, money. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And we're gonna cook tomorrow. I got a lot more shit to cook on. In any other words, man, before we get up out of here, money?
Nah, man, just like I said, appreciate that for coming through cooking. I didn't know you was coming back today, to be honest with you. I thought you was coming back tomorrow. So yeah. It's it's all love, you know. Appreciate y'all for coming through, showing love to man Key. Y'all continue to come through. Tomorrow we're gonna touch on that Charlo situation. Like you said, ain't nobody safe in these streets. As my dude thought he would just go get away.
Nobody.
So yeah, so y'all heard about it, man. But y'all continue to follow me on Monty Brown TV. Show some love. Go over to Instagram, follow me at Monty_the writer. Show some love over that way. We dropping videos crazy. And it took my live stream for another 90 days, but I'm gonna be right here with my bro, man, kicking it up. Shouts out to World Combat Sports. Scotty was going down, and we're gonna continue to do it like that, man. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all know how we get down, man. Big dog status, family.
Yes, sir. World Combat Sports off in the building. Shout out to my man Scotty. He said Tyson might be on that frog again. When he hit that frog, whatever that shit is, that frog shit, when he was actually normal for a little bit. I think that frog might have wore off now. I remember that. What is he talking about? That toad? What is it called? Money when he was talking about that he hit that toad shit.
Some shit you sound like he went out to the top of the mountain and found this stuff.
He was normal for a minute, but now he off the meat rack, dog. Like I'm telling you, what happened to his co-host? So the white dude, Evan, his co-host, I guess they wouldn't pay him. They wouldn't pay him what he wanted to be paid. He was trying to get what he deserved out of him. He's still cool with Tyson. Him and Tyson still cool, but the network, whoever is over the hot boxing with Mike Tyson, whoever pays him, he was just like, they wouldn't pay him what he was worth. They was trying to fuck him with the money, so he had to leave and go on, But Tyson need him, dog, because since he left the show, Tyson on the whole nother one, dog. KG says it's frog. Yeah, frog poison. When he had his poison, it's like Tyson was a different man. I think that poison might have wore off. He might need to hit some more of that frog poison and get his nose out that bag. And we also gonna talk about De La Hoya tomorrow too. Tomorrow we got a jam-packed show, man. We're gonna talk about Charlo. We're gonna talk about the fights coming up. And we're gonna talk about De La Hoya. He was on that nose candy too this weekend, heavy. But like I said, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. What's your words, Money? You gave your last words, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, man, but I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Y'all hit that like button, leave it, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. I'm out.
They're senior in no department. Speed, power, chance, heart, none.
Alright.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Talking big facts, I ain't tell no lies. Real talk like fight fan. Slap a troll with my right hand. Hit the like button, watch the replay. Want all the smoke like EJ. Fuck a troll what he say. I bomb a nigga like Wilder, boy. Spray the thing, make shower, boy. Tyson Fury, you a coward, boy. Box a nigga like Ego. Make you bow your head, take one knee like Kell Brook and Tim Tebow. Since the time that Lester been black and eyes like Debo. Like Debo? And I'm a breadwinner like Kevin Gates. Smoke strong, make you levitate. On my evil spins, might meditate. Gon' watch me, you gon' steady hate. But I pimp the game like 7-8. 7-8. And I'm a big stepper like Money Brown. I don't mess around, I don't fuck around. But I fuck around, not wear my crown. Fuck around, not wear my crown. Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There you go, talking that boxing
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again. Trill talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. This Trill talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. Trill talk like fight fan.